Hello, beautiful people. Miss Beeching here. In this skill, we're going to go through how to calculate a probability for a one-step event, so just one thing happening, and we're going to convert those into decimals and percentages after making a fraction. So first things first, let's talk about what a probability actually is. A probability is just the chance of something happening, and generally we express a probability as a number. And there's three different ways that a probability can be written. We can either write it as a fraction between 0 and 1. So it could be something like 1/10 through to something like 9/10. Could even be 10/10. Could be 0/10. Bunch of different fractions. That's the most common way we're going to use it. But it can also be expressed as a decimal, so it could be anything from 0.0 through to like 0.3 through to 1.0. And then the one you're probably most familiar with is as a percentage between 0 and 100%. So it could be 0%, could be 30%, it could be 100%. And all three of these ways are valid ways to write a probability. We're going to look at fractions first. So how do we actually calculate a probability? We need to do a fraction. We need to say, okay, how many outcomes are there for the thing we're interested in? How many outcomes are there for the total sample space? And then we're going to divide them. So we're going to say the outcomes for the event that we're interested in divided by or over the total number of outcomes. Let's see that in an example. It might make a bit more sense. So if I've got a bag of marbles, okay, and let's just chuck a few in here. So let's say we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 green marbles, and we've got 3 yellow marbles, and we've got 3 purple marbles, and we've got 2 blue marbles, let's say. Doesn't really matter how many there are in a particular problem, but that's our bag of marbles. And we want to work out the probability of getting a green marble. Marble. Okay, so let's apply this equation. So we're going to say the probability is the total number of outcomes for the event. So in this case, the event is getting a green marble. So let's look at our bag. And we say, okay, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 green marbles. So we're going to put a 4 on the top of our fraction. And then the total number of outcomes in this case would be the number of marbles in the bag in total. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've got a 4 in 12 chance of getting a green marble. And we could also simplify this fraction if we wanted to say a 1/3 chance. Cool. All right, that's a visual example. Let's do one other example. Let's say we've got the word funny. And I want to know the probability of pulling out a consonant, let's say. If we pulled a random letter from this word. And some of you might be like, but what's a consonant, miss? Consonants are any letters that aren't vowels. So vowels are A, E, I, O, U. Then consonants are every single other letter. Okay? So if we look at this word and we want to know the probability of getting a consonant, our probability at the top, up here, is going to be all the letters that are a consonant. So that's F, N, N, and Y. All of those letters are consonants. So there's 4 letters that are consonants. And the total outcomes on the bottom, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters in the word in total. So there's a 4 in 5 chance of getting a consonant. Cool. All right, we can calculate a probability as a fraction. Let's practice converting it into a decimal and then into a percentage from there. So whenever we're converting, we need to think about the fact that a fraction is just a way of expressing divisions. Okay? So if I do an example, the fraction 3/5 means the same thing as 3 divided by 5. These two are the same thing. So if we want to make the decimal, we can just do this division. And for this skill, I'm happy for you guys to whip out your calculators for that one. So we're going to say 3/5 equals 3 divided by 5. And if I put that into a calculator, I'm going to get 0.6. Cool, we've got a decimal. It's pretty interesting to get things as a percentage though. So let's take this 0.6 and we're going to turn it into a percentage. And a hint for what to do here is the word percent itself. Percent, per 100. Okay, so if we want to go from the decimal to a percentage, we're going to multiply by 100. So 0.6 times 100. Here's our trick for timesing by 100. We're going to move our decimal place 2 times across. So we're going to go 0.6 and I'm going to go 1, 2. And that would become 60%. So we fill this gap with that 0. If you're having trouble remembering which way to move your decimal place, just think about the fact that a percentage should be a bigger number than the decimal. And so if you accidentally moved your decimal place the wrong way, you would get a very small number. And you'd be like, ooh, nah, that's wrong. I've got to move my decimal place the other way so I get a bigger number. All right. Good luck with the skill. Ask your teacher if you need some help, and I'll see you next time.